Good morning, everybody. Thank you for all the support on the last 41 Dodge video. I'm glad everybody liked it. I'm looking for another winter project, and we're going to get a 54 Fargo off of the same owner as the 41 Dodge, which was pretty cool. He's had both these trucks for over 31 years for sure, and it is just about 3 a.m. and we're taking off early and going to get this. We have to head fairly far east, so we're gonna go and grab this and we'll touch base. It's about 7 o'clock now. Had some really blustery conditions we went through, and now we're coming along. Starting to get light. It'll be nice, and it's calm here, but I couldn't see for a while. Another couple hours, we'll be there. Nice way to be greeted by the morning. All right, we made it to site. Got the best piece of the puzzle is the Fargo tailgate. It's in good shape. This is where the 41 came from, and there's the, what's it? They figure it's about a 54 here. So, pretty small truck, but pretty cool. We'll get her loaded up. We are locked and loaded. I did not get a video of the truck getting loaded just prior to it because it was frozen in, the axle was sunk in the ground, but we got it pried out and now we're going home. We made it home, guys. That was a long day. I was gonna keep on trucking and stay a night somewhere and come back the next day, but halfway through the morning there, I got sick as hell when I was driving. I don't know what it was. My wife got sick too. Apparently there's some like 24-hour flu going around. I feel like $1 million, so if that's true, I'm happy with that because it's been 24 hours and I had like the achiness. Anyways, I won't go on about it. I got sick, so I didn't do a lot of videoing, but the old truck, we got her home here. Got a little bit of straightening out to do on some stuff around that cab corner there and stuff. I gotta figure out what all went on there, but we'll figure it out. I've been fixing up this Dodge front end here. It's off of a 39 model. Was missing a piece of chrome there, so I just have some tinfoil tape there, but I just got it for a wall hanger because the rest was missing and broken. So if anybody's interested, I'm actually gonna sell that. I was hoping to find some headlight buckets in there and then wire up to 120 volts, and then you could have that on your wall. It would look really cool. We're gonna go out and try and put some air in these tires and see if we can't get this thing off the trailer. Well, I just got that cracked. Let's see what we got in here. Story of this truck is it was last moved 31 years ago and it's sat ever since. Oh. Brand new frame. Oh, maybe you, no, she's new. Nice gasket. Look at that. Don't even have to buy an oil filter. Division 3, Northeast, Manitoba, species walleye. Oh, so it's an old charts and fishing map by the looks of it, or guide of regulations. That's pretty neat. This dash is in really good shape. What do we got for miles on this one? 99,930.4. So I don't know, maybe that's true. Glove box, what do we got? Trailer, somebody's information there. Dryer sheet. Ooh, new fuel pump bowl. Filter. Guessing somebody was having some rust issues. Oh, look at that. I found this in the back. The other one was in the bed and it fell out, and I found it in the snow. And look at this, is the other one I was missing. Wow. I just seen 2 of those on YouTube that were like $600 for both of them, or eBay I should say. But yeah, anyways, wow, that's awesome. He liked his McDonald's, whoever it was. Oh, rolls good. She's a cute little thing. Rolls really well. Happy about that. As you can see, the bumper got a little bit bent up. Yesterday we were trying to get it out of the ground, but since the tires were flat and that axle's so close to the ground, that axle had dirt right up and around, and even around the rod perch in there, and it was lifting the front end of his backhoe off the ground, so it got bent up a little bit in here. So we got something to work, but then we chained around there and there, and it lifted right out. So I'll be honest, I took pictures of this when I bought my 41 and didn't look at it that close. I didn't realize that it had that whammo in the cab. But that's all stuff we can work with. I don't really think it's going to be that bad to fix. It's just, it'll be something. But the engine, I was told it was complete and did run, and he had it running, and the other one he said he never had running. He said it ran, used a bit of oil. So besides undoing the latch there, this is my first look at the engine bay. She is complete, as he said. The other one was missing the generator. It was missing everything. So I'm gonna assume that it's likely seized, but he said it did run. But we're gonna get to, since it's warm today and she's gonna cool down next week, we're gonna get to pressure washing and spray netting this whole thing. Overall though, that big whack is just right there, and we just gotta pull it back and it'll twist that way and get that door sitting nice. Hopefully, fingers crossed. This one's got tail lights, the other one didn't. It's got cross members in the bed. Here, there. That one is bent in the front. So it'll be a lot nicer to make bedwood for. Really nice actually, because we don't have to make the crossers. In suiting fashion, since these are all rusty and they're gonna look like crap, I'm just gonna cut them out. So we'll have a bit of grinding upon us here. And I gotta show you guys this. I just found it in the ground. Right, it fell out of the back of the truck. 1985 limited edition Heston's Primeline Farm Equipment. That's pretty awesome. Given her the Canadian clear coat, which is ice. We're just gonna get this thing pressure washed. I was gonna film it, but the damn thing, the phone keeps dying out here because of how cold it is. And as you can see, it's freezing. I'm just a little impatient, so we're gonna keep the water flowing here and get everything pressured washed out here, and hopefully get this sucker inside. As you can see, it rolls really nice, so let's get this all degreased, pressure washed, and in the house. Well, we're in. That was a long, painful journey, but at least it rolled well. It rolled a lot better than the 41, so let's get this thing melted off. I just couldn't get this stuff out of here no matter how much I pressure washed. So the whole goal was to pressure wash so my garage stayed clean, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So we'll be as clean as we can and get all this melted and out of here and get on to cleaning her up. All right, go see what I brought in here for you. Go check it out. I just went in, had a little bit of lunch, came out, put a heater underneath here, threw on the torch, so let's get to pulling off this air cleaner and see if there's any water in it. That's looking good. This is definitely from when I just pressure washed. I know that because I was spraying right on there and I didn't care. That oil looks really good. Great. All the plugs looked all right. A bunch of crap fell in them from the threads on here, and I'm gonna suck that out before I put diesel in there so it doesn't get in around the rings. I haven't tried to really turn it besides the fan bolt that's really loose, but we're just gonna take the vacuum here, suck it out, and then get it soaking just for a precaution. I'm not even gonna try and crank it right away. Dieseled up, and what I've done, you guys might laugh at this, but I think it might be clever because constant tension does stuff. So I have my big hook in the wall. I have that 500-pound ratchet strap tightened up, you know, zinging tight, and the back end of the truck is pulled down and it's in gear. So my thought process is that if this diesel starts freeing this up, it has tension on it that it'll want to start moving stuff. If not, we'll get underneath with a bar, but I really don't think it's going to be seized bad by the looks of it. And you know, they said that it was a running engine. So looking at the spark plugs, they did not look too rusty. They were all good. They were crusty, but not rusty. So I found this in the bed, that in the back, and look at this. Fargo, those two were on it. But I was thinking, what if I had a crank to crank this over? I got one for parts on my other truck, but it didn't work out. So I thought, let's look under here, see if we can find anything. And I looked in here, and look at, I don't know if they're Fargo yet or not, but those are the two missing caps. My guess is those both say Fargo on them. I'd rather have those than a crank, I'll tell you that. But I'll look on the other side, there might be a crank over there still. Sliding under here, if I do recall, there's an inspection cover here, but it's a little tight and oily. So I'm guessing in here somewhere there should be bolts. I'm gonna say like a 7/16 or a 1/2-inch bolt in there, and I'll get this cover pulled off and then I can pry on here. We got a 2010 railroad jack here, or house lifting jack, whatever you want to call it. And I've had the diesel in there for a little bit, not too much, and I'm not going to crank on this hard. But what I like about this is on the other truck, I put it on like this, and I just put a little bit of tension on here, and I'll just keep adding tension, and it has constant tension on it then. Then you can give it a little bit of a thud and see what happens. Oh, I apologize, as I was cranking, I had a fair amount of tension. I gave it about 4 turns and it just went whoop right up until it bottomed out. So that's a revolution there. So we'll see if we can do it with the bar now. It wasn't like a big pop or anything. It just slowly turns. So I'm hoping that, there we go. Oh, beautiful. So that's just one hand doing that. Oh, it's turning like normal. That's really good. That made me happy. I'm gonna roll this around a revolution just to make sure that nothing's gonna crunch or bang, and we'll go back up top and oil this and let it sit, but man, that's nice. There's one spot that's just a tiny bit tight. I can hear the valve and the spring go bang down or click down. But if I hit it with any inertia at all, like just like a quarter turn of the fan, it goes right over it. So I have no doubt that it'll come loose. It's just so it's a little bit tight, but I just spun the fan back there. I bet it'll go over now. No, I got some oil on the belt too, which ain't helping. There, went right over it. Do I ever feel better about that? I want to weigh the bin that I have all the stuff in. I bet there was 25 or 30 pounds of just dirt and topsoil, potting mix in there, and old wood, metal. It's all gone. Man, that's nice. That took quite a while, and if you look under here, it's all clean. Off camera, I just gave her a quick sweep or a blowout here. It took about a half hour to get her clean, but it's nice to just get the mess done and have a clean slate. So let's get to it. Can't quite fit my camera in here, but this is what I've done. I've put the handyman jack to the floor, and these things probably are the best thing I've ever used. Dangerous if used improperly, but you can use them to jack, winch, pry, whatever you want. So I just got this block of wood on here against our cross member that's squished there, and I just got tension on it. So it was pushed way out here, so we're about contoured again. I thought our door was bad, but it's not. It's just here, when this pushed in, it twisted this out. So we're gonna start with getting this back, and it's pretty well back to where it should be. I'm gonna pry it just a bit more because naturally it's gonna wanna flex back. And then we're gonna try and pull on the cab from side to side with a strap to get this in. And damn, we're gonna be pretty close there, so I'm happy with that. Okay, with the hood off, we can now see what we're doing. The starter is not turning, so what I did was pop the fancy cover off of there, and I tried to spin it over with the flywheel because I was under the impression that since it had a stomp starter that the actual stomp portion of it engaged the Bendix, and then it hit here, and that's your solenoid technically. But anyways, it's still, the Bendix does still come out under the power. So what I've done is I just got in here and I just pushed on the side of it. Let's see if you can see. Anyways, it's free now. So I'm gonna go put power to it. It was kind of tight and it broke free. It was drawing like crazy on the battery, so I assumed that it was just seized. So it rolls freely now, so we're gonna see if it indeed spins over. So let's check it out. With the floors out, it's not as good as the other one. There's a couple holes up, well, right down to that 2x4, and right along that seam there's a bit of a crack, but, or not a crack, but just rotten, so we'll look at that. The actual hump here, that piece was just rotten off, but everything else around it where it attaches was great. So we can find ourselves a different transmission hump, or whatever you want to call that. We can find one of those. In here there's a little hole right there. I believe that's a hole, at least. I don't know what it is. Everything else though is solid, like even the corner where the cab corner is and stuff, that stuff's solid. It's just at the front of those floor pans when I took out the rubber, and it had that foam backer layer on it, and water obviously came down from up there and rots out your floor. So we just snuck it down. The wife and I just had dinner, and it was an excuse to go to Crappy Tire. Now that we got the battery, watch this. That's pretty good if you ask me. And when I turn on my key, we got headlights. I had 2 of them, but when I spun it over on 12 volts earlier, I think I must have popped the one bulb because they don't like 12 volts. Panel lights, look at this. Or heater works, and that's pretty sweet. You pull the panel light, you got light in the back of the dash. That's crazy that that stuff still works. I can't believe it works actually. So even that lights up for your headlights there, and then when you shut it off, it shuts off. So it's pretty cool. So we'll see you guys in the morning. For now, we're gonna take it easy and see if we can maybe get this sucker fired up tomorrow.
It's the next morning, guys, and I really hate to do this to you, but I was doing some editing on this video this morning, and we're already over a half hour, so I don't want to drag it on too long, but we got oil pressure now, the engine's unseized, you know, we got everything ready to go. I gotta source some more parts for it before we try and start it. So to turn this video out faster to you guys, I'm gonna cut it off here, and we're gonna do part 2 for doing the engine, because it could be quite a bit of work yet. We don't know. Hopefully it's simple, but we'll find out. Anyways, we've covered a lot here, and I thank you if you're still tagging along, but we're gonna split this off for part 2, so tune back, and we're gonna hopefully start wrenching on this engine here within the next couple of days when I get the parts and we can start on it. So we'll see what we can do, but anyways, we're cutting you off right now, so we'll see you next time.